Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just got back from watching My Hero Academia 2, otherwise known as My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. And I am here to review it once again. Now, the last My Hero Academia movie came out back in 2018, and it was a rather surprisingly well-done film. It had its problems here and there, but it was able to capture the charm of the original anime series and make it essentially among some of the best shonen movies that are based on a Shonen Jump property. And when it comes to this film, not only does it have action that surpasses the first film, but it happens to fix some of my complaints about the first one too. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that My Hero Academia's favorite class, Class 1A, gets to head to a nearby island in order to help out its residents as villains are rising up, and as the Hero Society is still being brought to its knees over the events of the anime series. However, while the heroes are helping out the citizens and doing what they can to make their lives easier and safer, a new villain by the name of Nine, whose dub voice is Johnny on Bosch, shows up alongside three other powerful villains, Slice, Chimera, and Mummy, in order for Nine to collect the quirk of a young child who would be able to stabilize him. Why does he want this child's quirk? Because he wants to create a society where might makes right and power is everything, rather than having the labels of hero and villain define a superhuman society. So, from that description of the plot, you might remember in my review of the first film, I said that the main villain of that one, Wolfram, was just sort of meh overall as a villain, just sort of an obstacle for Deku and All Might to overcome. Nine is not really like that. While Nine's motivation does seem pretty standard, it's the way he goes about it and the way that not only does he care about his subordinates, but also his unrelenting determination and relentless pursuit that makes him such an interesting villain. You really get a sense that he believes every single thing that he's saying. You understand why he's going through this sort of pain that goes with using so many powers, and that comes with going after Class 1A, and you get a sense that, unlike Wolfram, who just seemed like a thug in it for money, you think that this guy really has a fundamental value-based issue with the society. He's not the most particularly in-depth villain, but he is understandable. And the same goes for his subordinates. Slice, who sort of reminds me of Medusa from the Inhumans. Chimera, who makes for a very cool fight late in the story. But Mummy does sort of seem like he's just there to be the starter villain, the one that our heroes can fight early on that doesn't contribute as much as the other three. But someone needed to fill that role. Another problem with the first film that I had was that some of the Class 1A members were really only there for cameos, just sort of there to say hi. Here, every single member of Class 1A, all 20, have something to do. Whether it's saving Deku and Bakugo, blasting away the villains, rescuing civilians, every single member of the class feels like they're important. Some are more successful than others at what they do, because, let's just face it, that's just how these hero jobs go, but it doesn't feel like anyone's left out. In a way, it sort of feels like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, with a massive cast of heroic characters that you've grown to know and love from the series, and all of them have some sort of major role to play. Even if it feels like some of them have power levels that are a bit higher than you'd expect at this point in the series, but I get the feeling that they did that just so the film would have some more flashy action scenes. And those action scenes, as you'd expect from a movie from Studio Bones, look freaking amazing. They're flashy, they're full of a varied use of the powers for heroes and villains. The final fight in particular might be one of the best My Hero Academia has ever done in both the series and the movies. And the music, as expected, is absolutely stellar. Whether it's the pieces from the show that are used in this film, or even original songs that are used throughout the battle scenes. Another thing that I'll say about the film is I liked the two kid characters. Kazuma and I forgot their names. But the two child characters who Deku and Bakugo have to protect throughout the film, they're not only well developed as far as movie characters are concerned, but they actually did manage to get me to care about them, even though I've only known them for like an hour and a half. It takes strong writing and great vocal performances to get that across, and these two have that in spades. So if they have a cameo in the epilogue for the series, in the manga maybe, I would totally allow that, because I think they deserve at least a cameo later on. So, as a whole, My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, improves on a lot of the issues of the first film while delivering some action-packed goodness that you'd expect from this superhero shonen. And as such, I give it a near-perfect rating of 9.5 out of 10. Go beyond, plus ultra. See you next time.